All right, Bachelor fans. Now, to be honest, the first, how many videos did I do? Two or three? I know they didn't really do super well, but I was planning, and I actually started to review The Bachelor season 25 this year, with it being a historic season since it was the first Black Bachelor. And I wanted to go into 2021. Okay, let's try to spice things up on the channel, cover content that's outside of my usual norm. And it's been well over a decade since I even watched The Bachelor. So into week two, week three, I was like, you know what? I don't really have anything to add to the conversation. Like, The Bachelor to me felt more like a ridiculous form of escapism as opposed to a show I can add commentary on. Now, if I were one of these Bachelor Nation people, the ones who watch every season of The Bachelor, Bachelorette, can pick up, look up things online and this, and I'm just not one of those people. Like, I was just feeling like a person watching the show like everyone else. So I really didn't have too much to contribute to the conversation. So I actually have been watching the show. I just haven't been reviewing it. But I remember stopping around week 4 because it felt too high school, teenager, like the drama in the mansion, the infight. It just felt like I was watching a worse version of Mean Girls on ABC. That's the easiest way to put it. So I just stopped watching. From the bullying to the slander going on between women. I don't know if it has to do with the fact that they're in quarantine as opposed to a typical season where they're able to travel to Spain and everything like that. But in any case, I just stopped watching. I talked with a few friends of mine who are Bachelor addicts, and they're like, yeah, I could tell, like, based on your usual review style, I don't think The Bachelor is something that you could get a lot out of. And I meant it. There was a video on my to-do list for about a week now where I was going to do a video kind of stating why I stopped watching season 25. But I decided not to do the video because my other Bachelor videos didn't do super well. So if I faded it out of my lineup, I don't think anybody would have cared or noticed. But the Chris Harrison drama that's been going on over the past few days, my gosh. Okay, so earlier today, he actually announced that he's stepping aside from the show and he won't be at the, the After the Final Rose event, because The Bachelor, kind of like, Love is Blind, is filmed weeks in advance, from the time it airs on television. But then the quote unquote cast will reunite after that final episode for like a reunion. So obviously he won't be involved in that. Now, let me put it this way, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but this week has been quite the weekend. If you are new to the channel and you've never seen my face in a live stream or whatever, I'm a 29-year-old black male, and over the being black in America, and no, don't worry, I'm not going to go on some spiel about the hardships of being black. You can watch the media, or get online, or talk to a friend, and they'll tell you. Now, I'm not even up here to preach. I'm just saying I'm tired. Like, this past week alone, and like I said, correct me if I'm wrong if I missed out, but wasn't there this one country singer that said the N-word, and he got backlash, but his music skyrocketed in terms of streams, like 500%. And then I don't watch the show, but The Mandalorian, one of the people on there, she put out a tweet or something. It wasn't pertaining to black people, but it had to do with, I don't know that. I just know it was trending, and on like Wednesday, and people were like, cancel Disney Plus. I'm thinking to myself, excuse me, WandaVision episode 6 comes on in less than 36 hours. The hell if I'm canceling my subscription. So yeah, she tweeted out something controversial. She got fired quickly. Even I have not watched it yet, but I feel like I definitely need to watch that Britney Spears documentary. I think it's on Hulu. Yeah, I definitely need to watch it. That documentary came out and people were going after, well, everybody's been going after Britney Spears' father for a while for obvious reasons, but Diane Sawyer and Justin Timberlake were in hot water, and Justin put out an apology about the whole Britney and Janet Jackson thing. And now you got this situation with Chris Harrison. Now, like I said, I've taken some time to look at some interviews and some articles, and apparently there are two Rachels involved, like the 23-year-old Rachel from the show, and then Rachel, she's a black female. She has a podcast or whatnot, and she did an interview with Chris Harrison, and it was like a 13-minute interview. Let me tell you this much. Within the first 2 minutes, I'm like, oh, Chris done effed up. It's like, oh my gosh. So apparently, and like I said, fill in the blanks, because I watched a few videos of people going over this, so I probably missed some details. But basically, the Rachel from the show back in like 2018 had a couple of photos on like a plantation and whatnot. She's white. And, obviously, I think there was a caption or the photo. Basically, it didn't look good, especially in the, the Black Lives Matter and, politically correct culture we're in today in 2021. And that got some backlash. So Chris Harrison took it upon himself to defend her. And the way he did it was definitely not well received. And I think the interview he did with Rachel, that, like I said, within 2 minutes, I knew, oh boy, this ain't going to set too well in the morning. There have just been so many apologies that, again, I'm just numb to it now. Whether it be like the siege on the Capitol, all those white people and nobody, no police or anything tried to stop them. No, well, when I say no police, I mean like, no massive amount of guards and whatnot to the extent of, Black Lives Matter protesters. And then I believe earlier today, former President Trump was acquitted of, having a hand in fueling the people to do the siege. It's like, it doesn't surprise me when this stuff happens. I'm just used to it by now. So when I read over Harrison's apology, he's done more than one apology. It's just the same generic, I was insensitive. I was ignorant. I shouldn't have said what I said. I'm just now understanding. No, it's like your ass was put to the fire. It's like when you felt untouchable, when you went to that interview and you were going back and forth with Rachel, you did the double down. And now that a couple of days have passed and, the outrage isn't going away. This isn't a one and done. This isn't like, oh, this is a trending topic for a few hours until something else pops up. No, this gained traction. I mean, look, it is Saturday. It's almost midnight. It's almost Valentine's Day. Boo. So by the time I finish this video and upload it, it'll probably be another layer to the story. That's why I didn't even really pay attention to the story, because like I mentioned before, over the past few days, there have been so many quote unquote apologies and, racy tweets and everything put out there that it's all been a big blur because it's all been rolling together. It's like you're all hard when you think that, when you're speaking your mind, because you're really showing who you are and how you think. Like, he talked about like woke police and, letting Rachel, just let it go and everything. It's like, this was so long ago. Like, this was 2018 and it's 2021. This isn't like, the 1800s and, you're talking about it now in 2020. It's like 2021. It's like, no, this is only a couple years ago. And another thing is, that's why I don't want fame, because there could have been something I've tweeted or posted that wasn't racist or anything, but it could be to somebody else. Look, let me just put it this way. I didn't get social media until after I graduated high school in 2009 because I never needed it. I just never gotten in MySpace or anything. Facebook was the first thing for me. Looking back or thinking back, because there ain't no way in hell I'm looking back. Because if I ever get any sort of fame, I'm deleting everything. Like my personal Facebook, and Twitter. It's not that I feel like I've posted anything sketchy, but these people out here who are like social media cancel culture vultures, they will find anything and try to use it against you to cancel you. And I don't want to take that chance. Plus, like I said before, I only got like less than 230 Facebook friends, and I can count on like, I talk to less than 10 people on the regular on there. Twitter, I mean, literally a hub for my have and have not content and other videos. But I mean, the tweets even before that, you know, when I first got Twitter, I just don't want to take that chance. I mean, there are just so many. Look, let me put it this way. There's a difference between tweets from like 50 or, you know, social media posts from like nearly a decade ago versus going on television to do an interview in real time and saying something incredibly stupid. It's just, yeah. So I'm not going to sit up here and say, yeah, I stopped watching The Bachelor because of this Harrison situation. No, I stopped watching a few weeks ago because it's childish. It's not even a great season. I mean, I feel like with this scandal, if you will, it just proves how dull this season is because the behind the scenes drama is more interesting to follow than the actual season itself. And it's like crazy to think that this one season of The Bachelor has more drama and scandal than any season of Flavor of Love. And Flavor of Love is what we were afraid that this season of The Bachelor would be, oh, our first black bachelor. Oh my God, like the first black bachelorette. It's like, oh, I hope it isn't, you know, I Love New York all over again. But in any case, yeah, if I were famous, I wouldn't say anything. Like, you know, people like, why aren't you speaking on this? Hey, whose side are you on? I'm on the God's side. I mean, yeah, you could argue that. Well, Jeremy, if you said that, some people who are religious would, you know, go again. Hey, I'm on God's side. So if you got anything to say about it, that's your problem, not mine. But to just think that people, I feel like they have this privilege where they just think that no matter what I say or do, I'm not going to be, you know, canceled by it. But just notice that Chris said, I'm stepping aside for a certain amount of time. He didn't say he's quitting. He's just stepping aside. He talked with Warner Brothers and whatnot. It wouldn't surprise me if he's back by season 26, if not season 27. It's just like recently Nick Cannon was, you know, brought back to Wildin' Out by Viacom. I don't think it was a publicity stunt where it's like, oh yeah, well, Nick said this, so we're going to quote unquote cancel him and Wildin' Out because he was wrong and he pissed off people. I feel like Viacom only brought Nick Cannon back because two reasons. Number one, the PR fire from Nick Cannon kind of died down. And number two, Viacom was hurting without that Wildin' Out paper that it was bringing into the platform. That's just my opinion. Now, with the Chris Harrison thing, again, The Bachelor is known, well, the Bachelor's franchise is known for fanning the flames for the sake of drama, which is one reason I just didn't watch this season because like the likes of Victoria and so many other girls in this show, it's like they're only there for the sake of drama and ratings. So I feel like there are just so many things in this scandal that are just being done for the sake of ratings. Like based off what's happening, there are going to be those who boycott The Bachelor because of this scandal. There are those who will watch The Bachelor because, oh, Chris Harrison did nothing wrong. Those who will boycott is like, you know what? If Chris Harrison isn't on there, I'm not watching. The Bachelor, I feel, is still going to get spectacular ratings because of this scandal going on. That's what I think. So I have no feelings towards this because, like I said, I'm just tired. Just like when it came to politics, like the impeachment, the second one, I knew nothing was going to happen. Just like I was happy that, hear me out, I was happy when Biden went into office only for the sake of politics will be boring again. Where it's not like oh, what did the president do today? And then, you know, people going back and forth. For the most part, outside of the, you know, impeachment trial, people have been quiet on social media about politics. Like, being able to scroll and not seeing good friends going at it in the comments has been refreshing. So to have yet another scandal, I mean, like I said, this is probably one of 7 scandals in the past week. I'm numb to it. These people just show who they are. I don't give a crap. Really sucks because, like I said in my introduction video on the Bachelor playlist, it's like Chris Harrison. I remember growing up watching this show with my mom and sister. Loved the voice. Loved his charisma. But after listening to what he said in that interview, I don't know. So, yeah, like I said, this video is just me kind of giving my thoughts on this. I really don't have any, despite the fact this videos are like 15 minutes long. Let me know your thoughts on it. Have you been following the scandal? Like I said, there's just way too much going on. I ain't got time to follow this bull crap. But do people change? I will say, Yes, people are. I feel like people do change and grow, but the problem is we live in a time where everything is available to everybody via social media. So you can post or tweet something and be young and dumb, but at the same time, 5 years later, you're not that same person. You're like, dang, yeah, that ice falling off the trees out there. You could say something incredibly offensive like 5 years ago, and then not be that same person because you've grown, matured. But if somebody digs up that old photo or that they screenshot a message or whatever, and that's brought to the present, yeah, that could destroy you. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know these people. I just know that this is the world we live in now. Like I feel like Smokey. How you gonna get fired? How you gonna get fired on your day off? That's been happening to so many people. It's like they are at home, they aren't filming anything, but they just decide to tweet something and they get fired. Or step down, whatever the case may be. We just live in the day of backlash. So I'm thankful to you all who follow me. Like I said, feel free to call me out if I ever say or do anything. I'd rather one of my faithful followers do that than me end up trending. Like I said, I'm not a celebrity, but you never know. Because even if you have any type of following, any semi decent following, like one tweet, one video, one post, one picture could destroy it all. So yeah. That's all I got. Like I said, chime in the comments. Maybe a discussion can, start brewing on this. But as always, if you would like to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal, Cash App, or join Patreon for as little as $1 a month. And make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.